and the Dallas Cowboys. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Prescott. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 27, Wentz. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Working from the gun, Wentz. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
They'll rifle this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson. 76 yards, and the Eagles have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Wentz. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey, chill. 47. 46.
Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
We're going to 53. We're going to 54. 180. That's the one. That's the one.
A first down throw for Prescott. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. The give is to Elliott. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Brett Maher on for the extra point. I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Hard to believe, but the regular season starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Throwing now is Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A strong running. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Going right side. He has Witten. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
On first down, Wentz hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
Here we go. 120!
From the gun, it's Wentz. His short throw caught by Goddard. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jackson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And you're under a minute to go in the half. The first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smarter...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Now McCoy. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Bravo!
A final shot before half for Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, this snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Shotgun now for Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Sean Lee has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
But fortunately, and all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. LaShawn McCoy with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll come out in the pistol. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now McCoy. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Go. 55 for Mike. All day, punk.
Wentz now to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? To throw, it's Wentz. That is caught at the 7. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A big play, but still not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott, and got his man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Dashing through the snow. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be... Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Leighton Vander Esch, 3rd in the NFL in tackles as a rookie last year, there on the stop. Play action. Now Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
For the Eagle touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They start on the ground with Elliott. Up to make the stop, the Pro Bowl safety, Malcolm Jenkins.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nigel Bradham brings him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
You better bring it. Here we go, 47. Right now, you better bring it. 26.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Oh, Prescott stripped. Williams loses the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now look at this. 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. 1st down, Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. But this is caught by Jackson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. 2 incompletions haven't moved them any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. McCoy. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. Now Wentz. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one's incomplete. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 3 down, 3 down.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
It's our time.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to let it fly. The clock. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott from the gun. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to